Welcome to the IWF Online Youth World Cup weightlifting event. I'm your host, Richard Mason in Canada. We have weightlifters from around the world, all youth aged, who will be competing against each other right now in real time from their homes, their training centers, gyms, wherever they can find weights and a platform. This session features athletes in the men's 61A category. Let's meet the athletes.
Presentemos a los atletas en este momento para la categoría de los 61 kilogramos Grupo A.
Representing Mexico, Hercelid Carrasco.
De México, Hercelid Carrasco.
Representing Kazakhstan, Azamat Tolagin.
De Kazajstán, Azamat Tolagin.
Representing Venezuela, Fabián Márquez.
De Venezuela, Luces Fabián Márquez.
Representing Chinese Taipei, Yung Fan Shun.
De China Taipei, Yang Fan Shun.
Representing the United States of America, Hampton Morris.
De los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica, Hampton Miller Morris.
Representing Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
De Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
Representing Ukraine, Ilya Zemlinsky.
De Ucrania, Ilya Zemlinsky.
Representing Indonesia, Muhammad Fatir.
Y de Indonesia, Muhammad Fatir.
The referees for this session, representing Russia, Alexander Kishkin. Representing Fiji, Della Shaw. And from Mexico, Nadia Alvarado. Jorge Freddy Reyes of Peru is our reserve referee. He'll judge the lift if there are difficulties. The time is now. We're going to call our first athlete. In the snatch, 95 kilos on the bar. Representing Venezuela, Fabián Márquez.
Con 95 kilos. Primer intento para el venezolano Fabián Márquez.
Venezuela, if you could turn your camera on, please. Venezuela, turn on your camera, please.
Venezuela, por favor, encienda su cámara. Necesitamos visual. Venezuela, conecte su cámara, por favor.
20 seconds, Venezuela.
Quedan menos de 20 segundos, 15 segundos. Necesitamos su visual. Venezuela, por favor, conecte su cámara.
Time has expired. The referees have ruled no lift for Márquez, Venezuela. He will have 2 more attempts in the snatch to come.
El intento de Fabián Márquez de Venezuela ha sido anulado por los oficiales técnicos por falta de presencia del atleta.
Next athlete, calling for 100 kilos, representing Kazakhstan, Azamat Tolagin.
100 kilos, primer intento de Azamat Tolagin de Kazajstán.
Three white lights, good lift, Tolagin.
Buena la alzada de Tolagin de Kazajstán.
100 kilos stays. We're going now to Chinese Taipei for the first attempt of Yung Fan Shun.
Con 100 kilos será el primer intento en arranque de China Taipei.
It is a good lift for Yung.
El intento es bueno para el competidor de China Taipei.
Next athlete, representing Ukraine, Ilya Zemlinsky, 101 kilos first attempt.
101 kilos. Primer intento en arranque para el ucraniano Zemlinsky.
Good lift, Zemlinsky.
Buena alzada para Zemlinsky.
102 kilos now. First attempt in the snatch for Elzar Tairov, Kyrgyzstan.
102 kilos. Primer intento en arranque para Elzar Tairov de Kirguistán.
Good lift, Tairov.
Buena alzada para el competidor de Kirguistán.
Add 5 kilos, 107 kilos now. Mexico's Hersalid Carrasco.
107 kilos para el competidor mexicano Hercelid Carrasco.
A good lift for Carrasco.
Buena alzada para el atleta mexicano Carrasco.
108 kilos now. Hampton Morris, United States of America, first attempt in the snatch.
108 kilos, Hampton Morris, de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica.
A good lift for Morris, USA.
Buena alzada para el norteamericano Morris.
Off to Indonesia. Mohammed Fatir, 112 kilos, first attempt.
Pasamos a Indonesia con 112 kilos, primer intento de Mohammed Fatir.
Thirty seconds, Indonesia. Good lift for Mohammed Fatir, 112 kilos.
Buena alzada para Fatir de Indonesia.
That concludes the first round in the snatch in the 61 kilo A session. As you'll notice, we are going in a round system, not the traditional way that a weightlifting meet would be held. But in this case, we still have the ever getting heavier barbell. We're starting in rounds though. So every athlete will lift from lightest to heaviest in round one, then we'll move on to round two and follow the same procedure, lightest to heaviest. Our first athlete in round two is requesting 95 kilos. Fabian Marquez, Venezuela, second attempt.
Segundo intento de Fabián Márquez de Venezuela, 95 kilos.
It
No
appears
veo
that
la
Venezuela is still having connection problems, but we will wait. They do have their full minute to try and correct it and join us for this lift.
Parece que Venezuela está teniendo problemas técnicos. Ya el segundo intento se está agotando su tiempo, pero no vemos en pantalla al competidor. Fabián Márquez, Venezuela. The screen does not show Venezuela.
And that lift is not seen by our referees. It is not successful. They did not see a good lift. They have to press red lights. No lift for Marquez.
Lamentablemente, el segundo intento de Márquez es nulo, pues no se ha visto en la pantalla su desempeño.
Next athlete, representing Kazakhstan, Azamat Tolajin.
105 kilos. Tolajin de Kirguistán.
105 kilos for Tolajin.
Segundo intento para el kazakhstaní.
Good lift. Tolajin, 105 kilos.
Buena alzada para Tolajin de Kazajstán.
105 kilos still the weight. Representing Chinese Taipei, Yongfen Shun.
Yongfen Chun del Taipei chino, segundo intento con 105 kilos.
A good lift for Young, Chinese Taipei.
Buena alzada para el competidor de Taipei chino, Yong.
One more kilo. We'll go up to 106 kilos now. Ukraine, Ilya Zemlinsky.
106 kilos, segundo intento del ucraniano Ilya Zamlinsky.
A good lift. Zemlinsky.
Buena alzada para Zemlinsky de Ucrania.
107 kilos the weight now. Representing Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
Elzar Tayrov de Kirguistán, segundo intento en arranque.
No lift for Tayrov.
No logra la alzada el competidor de Kirguistán.
112 kilos now, a 5 kilo increase from his first attempt. Hersalid Carrasco.
112 kilos, segundo intento para Erzelid Carrasco, México.
Good lift, Carrasco.
Logra la alzada el competidor de México.
113 kilos now. Two athletes remaining in this round, both calling for 113 kilos. Up first in the United States of America is Hampton Morris.
113 kilos, segundo intento de Hampton Morris, Estados Unidos de Norteamérica.
Majority decision, no lift for Morris, no lift.
No hay alzada, decisión dividida, no hay alzada para Morris, Estados Unidos, Norteamérica.
113 kilos the weight, Mohammed Fatir, Indonesia, his second attempt in the snatch.
113 kilos para el competidor de Indonesia.
Fatir's lift is a good lift at 113 kilos.
Mohamed Fatir completa esta sesión con una buena arrancada.
Once again, we're in that 30-second period where the athletes and their coaches can talk and set their next attempts. As you can see, after that round, our best lift was 112 kilos. Second best lift was 112 kilos by Carrasco. Fatir's 113 that you just saw was the best lift of that session. We had two athletes lift 105 in the second round, and one athlete put up 106. That was Zemlinsky of Ukraine. Round 3 begins with 95 kilos, and once again, we're going to go to Venezuela. 95 kilos, third attempt. Fabián Márquez.
Con 95 kilos comenzamos esta parte de la competencia. Fabián Márquez de Venezuela. Tercer y último intento en el arranque.
Venezuela is connected with the call. If we could ask them to make sure that their camera is turned on. Please turn your camera on, Venezuela.
Venezuela, por favor, encienda su cámara. Necesitamos ver su imagen. Venezuela, por favor, encienda su cámara. Necesitamos ver la imagen.
We're hearing from the control room that we do not have a connection with Venezuela. We do
Nos
not.
indican que no tenemos conexión con Venezuela al presente.
Sadly, that means that the referees have ruled no lift for Venezuela for their third attempt for Márquez.
Lamentablemente, este tercer intento de Márquez es anulado, pues no tenemos presencia suya en la transmisión.
Next athlete, 107 kilos, representing Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
120 kilos de Kirguistán, Elzar Tayrov. Primer intento de envión.
No lift for Tayrov.
No hay alzada para Tayrov de Kirguistán.
108 kilos now, representing Kazakhstan, Azamat Tolajin.
108 kilos. Tercer intento en arranque para Azamat Tolajin de Kazajstán.
That's a good lift for Tolajin.
Buena alzada para Tolajin de Kazajstán.
Next athlete, 108 kilos, representing Chinese Taipei, third attempt in the snatch, Yong Fan Shun.
Yong Fan Shun para su tercer intento en el arranque, representa al Taipei chino.
That's a good lift for Young.
Buen intento para el competidor del Taipei chino, Yong.
Next athlete also calling for the same weight, 108 kilos. Representing Ukraine, Ilya Zemlinsky. A good lift for Zemlinsky.
Buena alzada para el ucraniano Zemlinsky.
Next weight is 114 kilos, and it's for Mexico. And Herselid Carrasco.
114 kilos para el mexicano Carrasco.
He's pleased, so are the refs. Good lift, Carrasco.
Buena alzada para el mexicano Carrasco.
116 kilos, please. In the United States of America, the athlete is Hampton Morris. This is his third attempt.
116 kilos. Tercer intento en arranque para el norteamericano Hampton Morris.
No lift for Morris.
No hay alzada para el norteamericano. Falla en este tercer intento.
The final attempt in the snatch in this session belongs to Muhammad Fatir, 122 kilos on the bar. He's representing Indonesia.
El último intento en arranque para esta sesión de Indonesia, Muhammad Fatir, 122 kilos.
No lift for Fatir. 2 reds, 1 white light.
En decisión dividida, no hay alzada para Fatir. No es buena esa alzada. Continuamos.
This concludes the lifting portion of the snatch of the men's 61 kilo session. If you take a look at the scoreboard, you can see that 113 kilos put up by Fatir is the second best lift. He would have been ahead by a significant margin if he could nail that last lift. But Carrasco is our leader with 114 kilos, followed by Fatir at 113. We have 4 athletes tied at 108 kilos. Tologin of Kazakhstan, Wang of Chinese Taipei, Morris of the United States of America, and Zemlinsky of Ukraine. After that, we go to the 102 kilos put up by Tairov of Kyrgyzstan, and our Venezuelan athlete Marquez was not able to connect, and we were not able to see his abilities on the platform today. Now, we're going to check out the highlights from this past session. Then we'll have a talk with a new person who's been brought into the IWF to help with reform, and then maybe we'll check out a little bit more about our host country. This is the IWF Online Youth World Cup. Clean and Jerk coming up next. Welcome back. We have Darren Kane, a new name to the weightlifting world. We'll get him to explain, but a new name with a very significant role. Darren, first off, is the Reform and Governance Committee Chair for the International Weightlifting Federation. Darren, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, tell me a little bit about, let's talk about beforehand, your experience with weightlifting, because of the job that you've got. It's not necessary. In fact, it might be a hindrance. What was tell me a little bit what you knew about weightlifting before you took on this role.
Well, I know a lot about weightlifting as a spectator. Obviously, I've never been involved either as an athlete or an official in the sport, and I think that in relation to the role that I have to perform and the function that I have to perform now, it's almost imperative that I have no connection to the sport, because the job that I and the other people who have been appointed to the commission have is a very important one for the future of the sport going forward.
Tell me about that job. What is the Reform and Governance Committee heading out to do?
Well, very broadly speaking, I don't think that it would be news to anybody who is watching that weightlifting, the sport of weightlifting, and the international body has been through some turmoil in recent times, and that turmoil is well documented, and they are very serious issues that weightlifting faces. The role of the commission, if you want to describe the role succinctly, is to implement a new governance model for the international federations so that the organisation operates properly, it operates ethically, it operates transparently, and it operates so that organisations such as the International Olympic Committee, but also the national federations and indeed athletes operate so that they can have every confidence in the way in which the sport is run.
Now, this is a huge job, and I was thinking about this yesterday in my house, and I was thinking it's kind of like gutting a house, where you tear down all the walls, where you rip out all the cabinets, and then you start to build again from scratch, from the best wood that you can get. But always whenever I watch these shows, at a certain point in the teardown, the homeowners are going, "Oh my goodness, what have we done? Have we made a mistake?" Are you ready for that moment? Because you're going to be doing a lot of work here. Are you ready for that moment where people go, "Darren, you might have gone a little too far," and are you ready for
it? Our role is a role that's free from influence from stakeholders. We've been appointed because we are independent people. The independent people on the commission have been appointed because they have expertise and qualifications and experience that, frankly, can benefit international weightlifting and the IWF. And there will be critics from, no matter what you do in professional life, someone will always find an ability to criticise you. But you can rest assured of this. I've practiced law for 20 years. I practice almost exclusively with sporting clients. I am not going to have my name attached to something which I'm not happy with, and I'm not happy to advise the IWF as being in the IWF's and the sport's best interests.
We've just met. We don't have any history, but you seem to be kind of a take charge kind of guy. And with 20 plus years in the legal field in sport, you're definitely the expert. Would you rather have a large committee of brains to pull on, or would you be kind of the guy that wants to just roll up his sleeves, do everything himself, and make sure that it's to your standard? What's the best method for you?
I think it's too big a job to do it on your own. And I think that it's a job that's so important that you need to have a number of people there because that's what's in the best interests of the organisation, and that's what we're here to enshrine for the future, is a model that's in the best interests of the organisation. There's no question about that, and that's got to be the sole focus. It's important, therefore, to have people from from the sport and also from independent sport. At the same time, I'm not ashamed to say that I've got reasonably high standards. I'm not too tolerant of people that, accept lesser standards. And, whatever we put in place going forward is going to be a model that has to withstand the test of time. It has to withstand the next period of turbulence that weightlifting may go through, and it will go through periods of turbulence because all sports do. So, it's not, I know I sound like I'm sort of not answering your question, but it has to be, whatever we do next has to be the right decision. And I'm confident in the mix of people that we've got there to help us do that.
Fantastic. We very much appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. And I won't keep you on the line anymore because you've got a lot of work to do.
We do. But thanks for having me, and anytime you want anything more, let me know.
Thanks, Darren. Darren Kane, Reform and Governance Committee Chair. Welcome back. This is the men's 61 kilo A session at the IWF Online Youth World Cup. Our hosts are the Peruvian Weightlifting Federation. We appreciate you helping us with this great event so far. Now, on to the clean and jerk. Our first athlete is requesting 120 kilos. This will be the opening attempt in the first round of the clean and jerk. The athlete from Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Taigrov.
120 kilos. Primer intento en envión, Elzar Tairov, de Kirguistán.
Good lift, Taigrov.
Buena alzada para el competidor de Kirguistán.
Next weight up is 122 kilos. It's being requested by Venezuela, Fabián Márquez.
122 kilos para Fabián Márquez de Venezuela. Primer intento en el envión.
¡Vamos, Fabián!
No lift for Marquez at 122 kilos, but it was great to see him with his attempt.
No logra esta alzada Márquez, pero agradecemos que esté para el envión.
Next athlete calling for 123 kilos, representing Ukraine, Ilya Zemlinsky.
123 kilos. Primer intento en envión para el competidor de Ucrania, Zemlinsky.
Focus. Опусти.
2 out of 3. That's good enough. Good lift. Zemlinsky.
Decisión dividida, buena la alzada del ucraniano.
125 kilos. A bar, some collars, and 4 red plates for Yang Fen Shun, Chinese Taipei, first attempt in the clean and jerk.
125 kilos para el joven de la China Taipei, Taipei chino.
Good lift. Yang.
Buena alzada para Yang Fanchun, el Taipei chino.
135 kilos now the weight, representing Mexico. Hersalid Carrasco.
135 kilos, primer intento del envión para el mexicano Ercelid Carrasco.
Good lift. Carrasco.
Buena alzada para el mexicano Carrasco.
135 kilos still the weight. Other side of the globe, though, we're headed to Kazakhstan. Azumat Tolajin.
Azamat Tolajian de Kazajstán.
That's a good lift. Tolajin, Kazakhstan.
Buena alzada para el casaco Tolajian.
140 kilos. Hampton Morris, United States of America, first attempt in the clean and jerk.
140 kilos para el primer intento del norteamericano Hampton Morris.
A good lift for Morris at 140 kilos.
Con 140 kilos logra una buena alzada el norteamericano Morris.
150 kilos is being requested in Indonesia for the final of the first attempts. Muhammad Fatir.
150 kilos para el indonesio Fatir.
That's a good lift. Majority decision, Fatir.
Buena alzada para el indonesio Fatir, completando esta sesión de envión.
That ends the first round of the clean and jerk. We can get a little bit of a sense of the totals now. As you can see that Fatir is head and shoulders above everyone else with a 263 total. There's still 2 attempts for everyone in the clean and jerk, though. Followed by 249 kilos for Carrasco of Mexico and 248 kilos. In the current bronze medal position is Hampton Morris. Let's put some more weight on the bar, and let's call our second attempts now in the clean and jerk. 122 kilos. Fabian Marquez, Venezuela, second attempt.
122 kilos, segundo intento en Bion, Márquez, de Venezuela.
Ahí está, eso es.
Lost his belt, but made his lift. Good lift, Marquez.
Buena alzada de Márquez en ese segundo intento.
Next lifter, 125 kilos, representing Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
125 kilos, Elzar Tayrov, de Kirguistán. Segundo intento en Bion.
No lift for Tayrov, 125 kilos.
No logra esos 125 kilos el competidor de Kirguistán.
128 kilos now for Ukraine's Ilya Zemlinsky.
128 kilos, Ilya Zemlinsky, de Ucrania.
Закріпися, витолкни.
No lift, Zemlinsky.
No completa la alzada el competidor de Ucrania.
Next athlete, 128 kilos, Yang Fanshun, Chinese Taipei.
Del Taipei chino, Yang Fanshun, 128 kilos, segundo intento en envión.
Good lift, Young.
Logra la alzada el joven Yang del Taipei chino.
141 kilos, Hercelid Carrasco, Mexico, second attempt.
141 kilos, Hercelides Carrasco de México. Segundo intento en Bion.
A good lift, Carrasco.
Buena alzada para Carrasco de México.
141 kilos, still the weight. Representing Kazakhstan, Azamat Tologin.
141 kilos, Azamat Tologin de Kazajstán.
A good lift, Tolagen.
Buena alzada para Tolegen de Kazajstán.
Now, 147 kilos, Hampton Morris, United States of America, a 7-kilo jump for his second attempt.
147 kilos para el norteamericano Morris.
That is no lift for Hampton Morris, USA.
No completa la alzada el norteamericano.
155 kilos, last of the second round of the clean and jerk, Muhammad Fatir, Indonesia.
Muhammad Fatir de Indonesia. Intento en envión.
No lift for Fatir at 155 kilos.
Lamentablemente no alcanzó el balance necesario y la estabilidad. No hay alzada.
The athletes and their coaches will make their final selections for the round 3 of the clean and jerk. And once again, not all the traditional rules are being utilized here. Records set are not accepted. The athletes' totals can't be used to qualify for other events for a number of reasons. Weigh-in is done on an honor system and the like. There's no jury, there's no challenge cards, there's no reversals. But we will still be giving out gold, silver, and bronze medals in the snatch, in the clean and jerk, and in the total. Stick around for the medal ceremony after this next round. Round 3 begins with 125 kilos. Representing Kyrgyzstan, Elzar Tayrov.
Comenzamos el tercer intento para todos los competidores con 125 kilos. De Kirguistán, Elzar Tayrov.
No lift for Tayrov, Kyrgyzstan, 125 kilos.
No hay alzada para el competidor con 145 kilos. Seguimos adelante.
Next weight is 129 kilos for Ilya Zemlinsky, Ukraine, and final attempt.
129 kilos. Tercer intento en envión para el ucraniano Zemlinsky.
No lift for Zemlinsky on his final attempt.
No logra esa última alzada. El ucraniano Zemlinsky.
Next weight, 130 kilos. The athlete representing Venezuela is Fabián Márquez.
130 kilos. Tercer intento en envión para Fabián Márquez, Venezuela.
Se está eliminando el Kazaj. Ya está, vamos, güey. No me quiten nada, no me quiten nada, vamos, güey.
Not this time for Marquez at 130 kilos.
Lamentablemente no es el mejor momento para Márquez. Finaliza su participación hoy día.
Last lift now for Yong Fan Shun, Chinese Taipei, 130 kilos.
130 kilos, tercer intento para Yong Fanshun del Taipei chino.
Majority says good lift, Yong.
Decisión dividida, pero favorable para el competidor del Taipei chino, Yong.
That's a 6 for 6 performance, and 238 kilos is his total. Carrasco now. Mexico, third clean and jerk, 147 kilos.
Tercer intento con 147 kilos, Carrasco de México.
No lift, Carrasco.
No completa la alzada el mexicano Carrasco.
148 kilos being requested by two of our remaining three athletes. Up first, Azamat Tolagin, Kazakhstan.
Por Kazajstán, Azamat Tolagin solicita 148 kilos para su tercer intento en Vión.
No lift for Tolagin on his final attempt, 148 kilos.
No hay alzada para el joven de Kazajstán en su tercer intento en Vión.
148 kilos, still the weight. Now to the United States of America for Hampton Morris's third attempt.
Tercer intento de Hampton Morris de los Estados Unidos de América, 148 kilos.
A good lift. Majority decision, Morris. Good lift.
Decisión dividida, pero buena alzada para Morris en su final del envión.
One lift left. Indonesia, Muhammad Fatir, 155 kilos, the final attempt in the clean and jerk of the men's 61 kilo sessions.
El último intento en esta sesión, 155 kilos, Fatir de Indonesia.
No lift for Fatir at 155 kilos. He finishes with the 150 kilos made on his first clean and jerk.
Su mejor intento 150, falla en 155 y lo lamenta muchísimo el competidor de Indonesia.
We'll have our medal ceremony in just a moment, but let's take a look and see what we saw in the clean and jerk. A lot more red than we're used to seeing at these online competitions. That means that these athletes were pushing themselves to their limits and maybe 1 kilo past their limits. 150 kilos was the best clean and jerk, and that belonged to Muhammad Fatir of Indonesia, followed by 148 kilos hoisted by Hampton Morris of the United States of America. We have two athletes that lifted 141 kilos, both on their second attempts. I believe Carrasco probably put it up before Tologen did, so that would make Carrasco the bronze medalist, if my math is correct, and Tologen in fourth position. 130 kilos, Young, Chinese Taipei, and then the other athletes are in the 120 range, including Zemulinsky, Tairov, and Marquez of Venezuela. Let's take a look at the highlights of the clean and jerk portion of the session, and then we'll be back with our medal ceremonies.
Which game? That one some what?
Congratulations to our athletes. These are our medalists in the men's 61 kilo category. The bronze medalist in the snatch with 108 kilos, representing the United States of America, Hampton Morris. The silver medalist in the snatch with 113 kilos, representing Indonesia, Mohamed Fatir. And the gold medalist in the snatch with 114 kilos overhead, representing Mexico, Hersalid Carrasco. Now, the clean and jerk medalists. With 141 kilos, the bronze medalist representing Mexico, Hersalid Carrasco. 148 kilos for United States of America, silver medalist, Hampton Morris. And the gold medalist with 150 kilos, representing Indonesia, is Mohamed Fatir. Now, the results in the total. The bronze medalist with 141 and 114 to a 255 total is Hersalid Carrasco. Silver medalist representing the United States of America, Hampton Morris. And the gold medalist representing Indonesia with 263 kilos as his total is Mohamed Fatir. Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of Indonesia. Congratulations to all the athletes in the men's 61 kilo category. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us for this category. If you'd like to join us for our next category, that'll happen in about an hour and 20 minutes time, and that is the women's 49 kilo A session. Thank you for taking the time and watching with us. The IWF Online Youth World Cup, based out of Peru. We appreciate you taking the time, and good lifting.